Wat is de erfenis van 4 jaar president Trump? Welkom bij Uitgelicht. Goedenavond. De presidentswisseling in de Verenigde Staten heeft ook invloed op wie Amerika vertegenwoordigt in Nederland. De Amerikaanse ambassadeur Pete Hoekstra is bezig aan zijn laatste week in Nederland. En wordt binnenkort opgevolgd door iemand die is aangewezen door aankomend president Joe Biden. Bij ons nu in de studio, ambassadeur Pete Hoekstra. Good evening, Mr. Hoekstra.
Good evening. Good to be with you.
Yeah, glad you're back in our show for the last time.
Well, the last deze jaar, but well, who knows? Maybe we can go back in the future.
Okay, who knows? Yeah, you're going back to the U.S. Why exactly do you leave the Netherlands?
Because I'm a political appointee, so when administrations change, ambassadors change.
Yeah. So you're sticked to the president.
Yes.
You can tell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were ambassador here for 3 years. What is the best thing about our country that you noticed?
I mean, we thoroughly enjoyed meeting the people. You've got great business people. We've made many friends in government, in parliament, in the administration, as we would call it. And we thoroughly enjoyed going around to the small dorpjes, meeting the king's commissioners, meeting the burgemeesters, but meeting the people of the Netherlands. They treated us fantastically. We thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, and what's your common view about the people in the Netherlands?
We love the people of the Netherlands. They are great. They're very kind. They are very open. So nothing but positive thoughts.
Yeah. What is the most fun memory you're taking back to the States?
Well, the most fun memory was, for the 75th commemoration, parachuting with a veteran, someone who had jumped at Normandy, someone who had jumped at Operation Market Garden. Yeah. And he and I jumped out of the same plane, and we landed in the same field, and we walked over to the news media with the cameras, and they asked him, of course, and he wasn't very good of hearing anymore. Yeah. But they said, "Hey, what was different this time?" So you whisper in his ear the question, and he says, "Well, they weren't shooting at me."
Okay, yeah.
But the appreciation through all of those events, little kids walking through the veterans and saying thank you. Yeah. It's it brings a tear to your eye to see how much these veterans suffered. But when they come back 75 years, they can say, it's worth it. Yeah. This is a country that rebuilt itself. This is a country that has not forgotten. This is a country that's telling their kids to remember the sacrifices that we made. So they could come back, and yes, they paid a heavy price. They saw their friends die here to liberate a country that they'd never been to.
Yeah. Is that also the bond tie between your country and our country?
Well, our bond goes much further than World War II. It goes to the first salute in Ustasia. I was there to commemorate that. It goes back to, our Revolutionary War, the business ties that we've had over 250 years. So it goes back through all of those things. And because we have so much in common, the love for democracy, representative government. And so, it's nice to see that the friendship is not based on a narrow foundation. Yeah. It is a broad foundation.
Okay, that's the best part of it. But I think you're also disappointed in some ways in our country.
Not really.
Not really?
No.
No?
No.
We talked about defense spendings earlier.
Sure. That's a policy. Yes, we would like to see the Dutch spend more on defense. We would like the Dutch to be more committed to NATO. But I think, over time, we've made progress on that issue. We made progress on NATO. Together, we confronted the challenge of China, of COVID. So, sure, that we have differences, but they are small compared to the things that we work together on.
Okay, you mentioned China. I saw on Twitter you invited the ambassador of Taiwan this week.
Yeah.
In your embassy.
I did. I met with her last week, and I had to meet with her in the city hall in The Hague.
Yeah.
Because she could not come into our embassy, and I could not go to her office. And as
I think China doesn't like that.
Well, that may be, but as we were leaving, I said, I hope the next time that we meet, we will be able to meet in either your embassy or my embassy. And on Saturday, Pompeo said, all the old rules are null and void. So on Monday morning, I gave the representative a call and said, hey, come on over to the embassy this afternoon. We will be the first ones in the world to meet at an American embassy. And we were.
Okay. You're going back to the U.S. This week. What kind of country do you find when you're back?
Well, we will find a different country. We will find a country that is in pain, that is more divisive and more partisan than what I would like. And hopefully we'll find a country that on January 20 will come together. Yeah. We will welcome a new president, and we will look at working the agenda and moving forward. We will have disagreements between Republicans and Democrats.
Okay, you say more divisive. Yeah. Is that because of President Trump?
I believe it's we need to step back and we need to take a look at what has happened to our rhetoric and our politics, not over the last 30 days, not over the last 6 months, what has happened over the last 15 years. You will remember I was in Congress, 2005, 2006. Bush lied. People died. Those were hard years. Some of the Obama years were tough years. And obviously, the rhetoric during the Trump administration, think about what happened, the Russia lie that came out, what the Obama administration did as President Trump was coming into office. So a lot of people need to step back and reflect, see how they contributed to this, and see how we move on in a much more constructive way.
So you say it's not one presidency, but 15 years, you tell, 20 years?
Yeah, I say
it's going on.
Let's step back and let's see exactly how this all came to be. Because I don't believe it's one president. I don't believe it's 30 days.
No, if we look at the United States, we see a gap between black and white, between rich and poor, between countryside and cities.
Yeah.
Is that possible to bring that together?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If you go back and you take a look at what was happening in the 1960s with race riots, we're much further forward today than where we were 60 years ago. Yeah. Income equality, we're much better. Quality of education, access to health care, we're better. But it's clear we still have work to do. Yeah. And so that's what we now need to work on. And we will have better results when we do this together rather than when we are divided. Okay.
Last week we witnessed the rage on the Capitol. What happened there? What was the situation? Was it anarchy or democracy, what we saw?
No, it was anarchy. This is our symbol. For America, for much of the world, probably the best known building in America, recognized around the world. That's anarchy. 5 people killed, a police officer killed. Yeah. That's not democracy. That's not a peaceful protest. It was awful. I mean, that building was my home for 18 years, and every day when you went and you looked at it and you looked at the Capitol and you said, wow, what a great place to go to work, to call the office.
Sacred ground for Americans?
Well, you got to be careful, sacred ground, but in terms of, getting to sacred ground anywhere in America, this building would be the closest to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember President Trump in front of a large population of people, and he said, let's go to the Capitol.
Let's go to the Capitol. You're more than welcome to go to the Capitol and protest. I mean, I've been to the, frequently when I was at the Capitol, there would be protests. That is not unusual. Okay, and if you're going to protest in America, you do it. You do it on the Washington Monument, on the Mall. Yeah. You do it at the White House, or you do it at the Capitol. Yeah. Those are the places that you go. So peaceful protest is. I protested at the Capitol. Okay,
but
it's peaceful.
Did he handle this situation right?
Well, it's clear. Lots of people made mistakes last week, Wednesday. When you have people storming the Capitol, breaking in, climbing through the windows, no, nothing went well. Except when it was done and the building was cleared, Congress came back into session. They finished their work and certified that Joe Biden had won the election and had enough electoral votes and that he will be sworn in on January 20.
Yeah. Do you blame the attack on President Trump?
No. Like I said, you need to go back and take a look at a whole bunch of factors in terms of how that happened.
The attack for the Democrats is reason to start an impeachment procedure. Can you understand that?
I can. I mean, I've seen it now. I was a student in Washington as an intern in the 70s when Nixon was impeached.
Yeah.
I was a member of Congress when Bill Clinton was impeached. I was an ambassador when Donald Trump was impeached. And I think in almost all of those cases, maybe not the Nixon one, but when we impeached Clinton, when this president was impeached, I think that in hindsight, alternative courses of action would have been better. A censure rather than impeachment. I can't really talk about what's happening today, but I think from experience, impeachment is a significant event. We need to go through this in a serious way, not a politicized way. We'll all be hurt if it's another politicized impeachment.
Yeah. But do they also want to block the possibility for Mr. Trump to come back as a president?
Yeah, that's one of the interesting things. I didn't know that was a result of impeachment until the last couple of days.
Yeah.
It may be. I don't know. I've not talked to Nancy Pelosi and all of that. But there's different discussions and scenarios out there. I mean, there's one out there that says they will. They'll vote an article of impeachment. It will go to the Senate, and the Senate may wait 100 days to actually have a trial. And it's kind of like, can they do that? I mean, the president will already have been gone for more than 3 months. It's kind of like, move on.
Yeah. Do you think he's planning to coming back, Mr. Trump?
4 years is a long time.
It is.
Okay.
But he has a lot of money and time, so he can...
He has time. He's got a phenomenal interest in this political arena and agenda. He still has lots of support. But I don't know what the president will do. Yeah.
What does he do on January 20th, when the inauguration of Mr. Biden is there?
My understanding is the president has made a statement that he will not be at the inauguration.
No.
I don't know what he'll be doing.
Maybe on his estate in Florida?
It could be at his estate on Florida. I don't know. Yeah.
You don't know?
No, I don't know.
No. In 20 years, when we read in history books, what do they say about President Trump?
I think it really will depend on, this clearly will be a stain on this presidency. Yeah. A lot of the policies have been positive. China, the economy has been good. The response to COVID, a global effort getting a vaccine in 9 months. I mean, that's historic. But a lot of it will still depend on what he does over the next 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we can give an opinion about it.
Well, people are giving an opinion right now, but obviously he still has an opportunity to shape what that will look like. Yeah. Just like the opinion of Richard Nixon continues to evolve each and every day.
When he started, his promise was make America great again. Did he do that?
Well, I think, looking at what happened on Wednesday, it would be very hard for anyone to say, wow, look at that makes America look great. Again, lots have been accomplished, but the image right now, it would be hard to say that we're disappointed in that image. I mean, it was heartbreaking on Wednesday.
Did you felt ashamed that you're in America?
Yeah, people. I mean, it's a shame. I don't feel ashamed for America. Yeah. Okay, I'm extremely disappointed that is what happened. on Wednesday, okay? And I recognize the pain that causes in America. And, we've got a lot of comments from Dutch people who are saying, we feel the pain with you and we're sorry to see this. So it's very painful.
Yeah. Let's go to January 20th. The new president will be inaugurated at 12 noon in Washington, D.C. What are your expectations for that day?
Well, it's going to be a unique day. Usually you will go there and, when I was in Congress, you would sit on the platform, not very far away from the president and the new president, and it would be an awesome experience. Watching, the thing that people always watch for, the president and the new president are sitting across from each other on a narrow little aisle.
But now there is security, there is COVID,
there is security. But there's a person sitting behind the president who's carrying a briefcase, the nuclear codes. And as soon as the oath is administered to the new president, this person moves from one side to the other.
But Trump isn't there.
Well, in this year,
how do they do that?
Well, what they will do is they will have two people.
Okay.
I guess. I mean, they will have a person with the president and with the president-elect. And when the new president is sworn in, I'm assuming the person that is with President Trump will leave.
Yeah.
So. But it will be unusual because of COVID and these types of things, and parts of it will be a virtual swearing in. I talked to my congressman and said, where will you be on Inauguration Day? Are they even going to bring together the 535 members of the House and the Senate with COVID restrictions and those kinds of things? He said, no, there will be a ceremony. I think it will be outside. But he said, we will be socially distanced. And typically I might, or he might, as the congressman, he might have 100, 150 tickets for different places on the mall to hand out tickets to different people. Yeah. This year he gets one.
Okay, we're going to witness that. President Trump isn't there. You don't know where he is?
No, but it will still be a great day. It will be a transfer of power, and it will go, with less pageantry than what we've had before, but it will happen.
From one to the other.
Yeah.
Do you support Trump in the next years?
Well, I mean, who knows what happens over the next 4 years? Okay, there are many parts of this agenda that I think are very important. The agenda will not go away. Okay, the challenges from China. Making sure that we build the relationship with Europe as our most important relationship that we have. Fighting for those Rust Belt, as we call them, workers in the Midwest, and making sure that they're getting a fair deal. That agenda is going to stay.
Okay.
Last
question. As a Christian, where do you have a better life, here in the Netherlands or in the United States?
Being a person of faith is a personal experience. You can have a strong personal faith in the United States. You can have it in the Netherlands, and I'm sure that those who suffer under persecution in places like China and North Korea, they may even have a stronger and a better experience with Jesus than those of us that live in free societies where we have the opportunity to worship and we don't recognize the cost that others pay for demonstrating their faith.
Okay. And what you're going to do in the U.S.? Sit back and relax?
No, I will probably sit back and I will watch Family 7 and keep tabs on what's happening in the Netherlands. We will keep working.
Okay, keep working.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
With a smile on our face.
Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Ambassador Pete Hoekstra. And have a safe trip back home to the United States.
Appreciate it, and it's always been good to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Dit was Uitgelicht voor vandaag. Dank voor het kijken. Morgen bij Leven en Welzijn. Dan zijn we er weer. Hele fijne avond en graag tot dan. Dag.